There's a hurricane coming for California, and people are freaking out. Rightfully so, because if this storm hits California, it will be the first hurricane to hit California since 1939. That's before they even named hurricanes. It's also the first tropical storm watch that's ever been issued for California, and we're still a day plus out. I can only assume that the grocery stores in California look like WWE death matches right now. And we know Californians are not built for hurricanes. Look at these texts that my friend sent me. As you can see from the text that my friend sent me, he is clueless and scared. He's like a lost, scared, clueless puppy right now. But have no fear. Allow me to introduce myself. Over here, up here. Hey, hi, I'm Jack. I'm from Florida. I'm a Florida man. And at this point, I've probably been through like 1,000 hurricanes. I'm one of the leading experts in many things. Hurricanes is not one of them because I've been legally advised not to say that I'm an expert when it comes to hurricanes. I'm a hurricane enthusiast and a Florida man. The point of today's video is to help you feel like you got this, because I know you do. With my help. Garrett, you're not gonna die. What if there's beach? All sarcasm aside, we're gonna look at some models and I'm gonna explain to you guys kind of what we're looking at and what you can expect depending on where you are in California when this hurricane hits, or if you're in Mexico as well. All right, so excuse the audio. I didn't bring my microphone. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick, actually in-depth look. You guys don't need to see me for this. So this is the hurricane, right? All right, we need to go to the Eastern Pacific. Here we go. Hilary. It has downgraded from a Category 4 to a Category 3, 125 mile an hour sustained winds. Here's your cone for tropical storm force wind probabilities. Again, ignore the echo in here. I'm traveling right now. Still got to get you guys an update. You can expect some tropical storm force winds. So the hurricane, the blue is the tropical storm warning. It's the first tropical storm warning ever issued in California. Red is hurricane warning. If the hurricane warning creeps up the coast, then it'll be the first hurricane warning ever in the history of the state of California. So the problem is if it doesn't make landfall and if it kind of comes out to the west a little bit, it's going to spell bad news for Southern California. Something to note that is very important that I will reiterate 100,000 more times is if you are south of the eye wall, like this area over here, all this, according to this prediction, if you're south of the eye wall, you are going to get the brunt of the storm. You're going to get the strongest wind. You're going to get the heaviest rain. If you are north of where the eye wall makes landfall, so according to this prediction, so anywhere north of here, like San Diego, Los Angeles, Bakersfield, you're going to be all right if this prediction plays out. So these areas right here, the east side of the storm always has the most rain and the most wind. So places like Yuma, even like Phoenix, Kingman, Las Vegas, that is where all this rain is going to go. See all this? Rain and flooding is pretty much the number one thing that causes damage when it comes to storms like these. I mean, Mexico is getting some of the biggest waves that they've gotten all year, which is pretty scary. I mean, if you are anywhere in La Paz, Guerrero Negro, this whole strip is going to see some pretty gnarly effects of this storm. So if you know anybody down there, tell them to bunker down. Anywhere in this region, it's going to be pretty dangerous, pretty dicey. The topic of conversation is California because nobody has seen a hurricane in California in a long time, but what we really need to be worried about is areas of Mexico that are going to get some of the worst flooding, worst wind, and worst rain that they've ever seen. Even in the Sea of Cortez, like even inside of here, these areas where this wind is pushing is going to flood a lot. I mean, you can see wind. If the wind is pulling offshore, there's not going to be much flooding. If it's blowing onshore, places like this, like these little cracks, they're going to get a lot of flooding. So, yeah, like I said, that's the quick, in-depth look at this storm. Go to nhc.noaa. Here's the... So, another thing is it said it was going to wobble. It said it was going to curve, and then it was going to kind of come back out and then go up the coast. We're seeing a little bit of that correction right now, but it's still a little too early to tell. That still shows pretty strong storm hitting California. Southern California ain't built for that. They're not used to this, so that's a quick update. Let's get back to the video. Now it's time for us to give you some advice on what you should do to feel more prepared for this hurricane. Number one, flashlights are incredibly convenient if you go into full-blown panic mode. Here's a list of things that you can do around your home to add safety. Be sure to trim any large branches. It's probably going to get as windy as you've ever seen, and branches break when it gets windy. So trim the brush around your house. This house is good. We're good here. If you own a pool, good for you. Ugh. Throw all your lawn chairs and tables into it to prevent them from flying into your neighbor's house. Don't even think about leaving your trampoline assembled, especially if it's the world's biggest one. Take all the springs and the mat off to prevent that too from flying into your neighbor's house. I learned this from experience. Twice.
No! Not my trampoline! Oh! Florida, what the f***? What the f***? My trampolines are f***ed! Oh!
Tie it down to something solid, take all the springs and mats off, and you'll be good. Be sure to park your car somewhere safe and avoid low-lying areas. From what I hear, record rainfall in parts of Southern California in August are upwards of 2 inches. 2 inches in an entire month, and it's very likely and very possible that California could get 10 to 15 inches of rain in some areas in just a few hours. So do not park your car at the bottom of the hill. And don't park it near any trees either. You park your car under a tree and it gets really windy, you're done, son. Charge any battery devices that you have in case the power goes out, which it probably will for a lot of you this time. Generators are also amazing if your power goes out. Not only do I have a generator, I also have a super dank power bank that will charge all of my homies' phones for multiple days. We're stoked, and we can continue making content even if the power goes out, thanks to cell phones hotspots. If you get hurricane warnings, you can make the call to board up your house in case heavy wind and debris comes through. It is a safety precaution. If you have kids and you're in the path of a storm, peace of mind never hurts. It's also very important to know the wind direction so that you're not sitting in front of a window or in a room where the wind is directly hitting. If you can't find wood to board up your house because of the full-blown Home Depot cage death match, just put some duct tape on the windows instead. Or really, anything that you can find. We're in crisis mode.
Don't tape it home.
No hurricane's gonna take my dad out of here, I'll tell you that. Another pro tip for if you anticipate your power to go out is to find as many bottles of water as you can. Fill them up in the sink. Fill up gallons, galloons, whatever you can find. Put them in the freezer. Freeze all of your water. That way if your power goes out, your freezer stays cold, and then when it eventually thaws out, you have clean drinking water. The most important thing to know about a hurricane is where it hits. If it hits north of you, you're gonna get the brunt of the storm. If it hits south of you, you're gonna get all the wind that has already traveled across land, so it's not gonna be as bad. You need to be tracking these storms in real time. I will be posting live updates on my Instagram. If you want to hear from me, I will tell you everything that you need to know according to where you live in Southern California. But it's also very important to use websites like nhc.noaa.gov. That's the official Hurricane Hunters website. You can also use the app Windy or the website windy.com. Gives you a pretty good illustration of where the storm's at and what they think it's gonna do. None of the models are for sure, but something I do know about hurricanes is once they get close enough to land, they typically get sucked onto the land. So my guess is it's going to just miss Southern California. My guess, like I said, I'm not an expert, I am an enthusiast. You'll just miss Southern California. You guys are still gonna probably get a lot of rain. You're probably gonna get a lot of wind that you're not used to. Just don't freak out. I've dealt with thousands of hurricanes. I'm still here. You will still be here tomorrow too, and the next day, as long as you listen to my tips. If you know someone in California who's about to experience a hurricane, please send them this video to help them feel safe. Don't really know what else I can do. If you're a Florida man watching this, you probably already know this stuff. Once your life is saved and everything is okay again, you can go to JoogSquad.com and get yourself some fire merch. Where's all my Florida boys at? Florida boys out here watching videos about us saving California, just cheering. Thank you, Jack. Oh my God, will you please be my dad? And just to close things off, community is very important when it comes to hurricanes. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your neighbors, make a group chat of all your fellow Californians that are also scared about this hurricane, so that you feel like you have some people that you can lean on in case something goes terribly wrong. It's not going to be that hard to find water. It's not going to be that hard to find food. LA and Southern California is very, 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 very densely populated. So don't freak out. Don't go running off to the grocery store. Fill up your bathtub maybe. You fill your bathtub up with water. If shit really does hit the fan, you start a fire using the skateboard ramp in your backyard, the extra wood that you have. You boil some water, you're gonna survive. It's gonna be okay. Again, for more real-time updates, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I will be posting full updates on my Instagram story in real time so that you guys can feel like you know what's going on and you know how to feel, you know how to be safe. I'm keeping you safe out here. Stay safe, you beautiful legends. Like this video if you learned something. And I'm gonna go win a skim contest because I'm not in California and I'm not worried. I'm in Florida. Oh, Jack, there's 4 hurricanes heading for Florida. Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, okay? The one is gonna hit California first, and then as soon as the California hurricane is done, we can move on to the multiple Atlantic hurricanes that are out there that look like this. We are reaching the peak of hurricane season right now over the next couple of weeks. That's just how it is. I'll be here to keep you guys safe, and as long as you support me and like the video, I won't have to send Bigfoot to your house to kiss your mother. Thank you very much.